Hi and hello, my girl bosses. Welcome back. So I'm Ellie Wishes. You know the drill. This is going to be a long video, but it's self-indulgent because I love my OCs. So in July of this year, I redid all of my character refs for Art Fight, and one of the reasons I did this is because all of my older characters in the era of 2016 to 2018, their references use this base that I got off of the Paper 53 social page, which no longer exists. It got deleted, it's gone, it's kaput. So I can't find and credit the artist whose base I used, which is really sad because they were very impactful on my art style in my early teens. I'd love to talk to them. So it's time to be nostalgic, do my own versions of the characters that I drew way back then, do it to some new characters, and it's just going to be super fun, and I'm going to tell you about my characters. This all started with Viola. So I needed new characters to add to my art fight, so I went digging through the little archives of Ellie Wishes Enterprises, and I found Viola, who is a librarian's from the TV show The Librarians, original character, and her story was really centric around the sword and the stone, King Arthur era, but that's completely changed now. Her lore is totally different now, and I couldn't be more excited about a character. She is a lady in waiting for a countess in Spain, and her outfits, they aren't really historically accurate because I have this little problem where my little brain sees any pretty little fantastical medieval-ish looking dress and I go, I need to put a character in that, and I do because I have no self-control. So because Viola was the first character that I embarked with on this project, I didn't really realize how committed I was going to be to drawing all these characters in this new reference style that I was doing. I ended up going a little bit off my rocker and off the treaded path because I did a little side profile, because the only time I'd ever drawn Viola before this was literally the character sketch that I did in 2017, 2018, a long time ago. And so I just wanted to start to get to a feel of her character, and I started with her iconic, her classic outfit. I like to call the standard outfit that I put my characters in their classic outfit. I don't know, it's just a silly thing I do. And that would be her Lady Knight outfit. Now, her Lady Knight outfit is the outfit she gets turned to stone in because her, who she's infatuated with, her unrequited love, gives her this necklace. It turns her to stone. Then hundreds of years later, she's put into a museum. A bunch of thieves try to steal her statue, and then she becomes human again. It's a classic Ellie Wishes fish out of water scenario where she's in the modern world and she doesn't know what to do. Imagine you're given a medieval peasant in the modern world. These group of thieves are given my dream because immediately I take her to go get a Baja Blast. Immediately. So you'll notice throughout all of these characters I do this little thing where I put them in undergarments or underwear. That's because I don't want them to be naked. It makes me uncomfortable. And again, these undergarments aren't historically accurate for Viola. They're not going to be for Helena. You can see me starting out her Lady Knight outfit. Nothing really changed super much from the original. Her hem is just a bit shorter because that seems a bit more practical for fighting, because she's a knight-ish, sort of, kind of. We won't get into the lore, but I gave her this really, really cool, I don't know what it is, but a hairnet, I guess. I think that's really pretty. I gave her these beautiful green emerald pins for her hair that match her eyes. And a fun little fact is her color story is impactful to her character growth. So she starts out wearing all these light and beautiful blues, and as she falls into this toxic relationship of turmoil, her colors become red, which is the Countess's color palette. And I think that's really cool symbolism. And I think what if I ever created Viola's story as an actual project, it would be a duology of books. The first book being a romance book, and Spain where she falls in love, and then the second book being after she's not a statue anymore, and would be her like realizing who she is outside of that relationship with the Countess, because that's how she defined herself. I think that'd be a very fun way to explore a character, and especially with the found family dynamics she would have with the bunch of thieves that like accidentally kidnapped a medieval peasant from an art museum. So her next outfit, which changed a ton from the original, her lady in waiting dress. It's a nice periwinkle bluish gray color. She gets a little head scarf covering thing. I'm sure there's an actual historical term for it, but unfortunately, no matter how hard I wish, I am not Bernadette Banner, so I cannot tell you the actual name for it. One of my favorite details that I add throughout Viola's outfits is this little star pattern on the hems of all of her skirts, or at least most of them, and I think it's just like a really fun like motif is these like diamonds. Did I call them stars? They're diamonds. They're just a diamond, like, and I would think they're embroidered. And you might notice throughout all of her outfits where you can see, like, her neck and collarbone, she's wearing this gold and gold pendant with a red stone in it. That is what is used to suck her life force away from her, and what turns her into a statue, and what eventually unturns her from being a statue. Now, onto the bright red court dress, which I love. It's very historically inaccurate. It is mainly the inspiration for it is like old Romeo and Juliet costumes. You see Juliet with these like big puffed multi sleeves a lot and like an empire waist, which I think is so beautiful. I've been like obsessed with empire waist, both in like medieval fashion and like Regency era. I give her a French hood, again, so inaccurate. I know. But I think it's just a beautiful amalgamation of historical clothing, and this is when she's in court. This is when the Countess's hold is strongest on Viola, and it was a very popular outfit for people to draw her in during art fight, which I think is really fun. And her final outfit is going to be her modern clothes, which after drawing all these beautiful historical clothing, I hated having to draw modern clothes. So I wanted to make it very dark academia, like kind of like definitely like royal core outfit. Like first and foremost, she's probably wearing a skirt, has that diamond motif on it. She's wearing a collared shirt with puffed, like, I don't want to call them poet's sleeves because they're not big enough to be that, but like kind of a puffier blouse with like puffy sleeves. And then I give her this sweater vest, which has the same little cutouts on the shoulders that her like smock had when she was in her lady night outfit, which I think is really cool. I did just like find a like lion logo and give it a crown because I was super lazy. I was like, I could not be bothered to figure out like to draw a lion from scratch, so I just kind of like used a reference image. Then really sad but fun piece of lore is after she comes back to life in the modern world, she is a little traumatized, so she wears a bunch of just really random jewelry, like some of it's costume jewelry, some of it's real, because what turned her back into human was the necklace that the Countess gave her, which was also stolen from the museum when the statue was, which I think's fun, but also sad. Poor little Viola. She's so lovesick, but I'm obsessed with her. She's, like, literally so, like, Mitski. Like, she would love Mitski. She listens to Mitski. Confirmed. Now let's take a look at those side-by-sides. Helena of Sparta. Now, she's a special character to me because she's one of the big three. Now, I call her one of the big three because she's one of my oldest and most prominent OCs from when I was a kid. She killed my OCs from middle school, and she's like the dominant one. She survived. She has lore that has survived through middle school. She was originally a Percy Jackson original character, a bit of a self-insert, like most of my characters start, and she ends up becoming like more of a independent character from that. She like grew away from Percy Jackson much as I have, and she's just like this cool ancient Greek queen in Sparta because when I was 13, I played Helena of Troy in a play, and I haven't been able to forget that I played Helena of Troy in a play. Like, stuck with me. And so I was like, oh, Helen's from Sparta. Helena will be from Sparta. And yeah, that's how she really got an identity outside of Percy Jackson. So she's just a queen. She has magic. She's really cool. She ends up in modern day Italy, and my favorite piece of lore about her is that in modern day Italy, her all of her neighbors just think she's really into LARP because she still wears like her historical like traditional clothing, which I think is really funny. So her first outfit is not one that I've drawn outside of the character sketch you see up in the right corner. It's her Olympus outfit, which why she's on Olympus, I don't know. I wanted her to be. And it has this really cool breastplate, which I really like, and the belt is so cute. And then I end up adding this beautiful gradient from pink to blue on the bottom. This is also in the original, but within that gradient you get little stars, little moon. It's very, very pretty. So when I was drawing Helena, I wanted a lot of her outfits to be very classical looking, like those paintings you see of like women sitting on like next to pillars, and they're very beautiful. They're very like, I want to go to there, you know? And so I wanted a lot of her outfits to look like that. I fell into this pit hole, especially with her classical outfit, the first one, which you see in the upper left corner. It looks atrocious. It looks so bad, and ever since drawing the classical outfit for again, I hated it so much that I had to go and redesign and make a new version of it because it doesn't look anything like it's supposed to. It looks bad. It looks too modern. It makes her look weird. And there's just not any balance to it, which is weird because in the full pieces I've drawn of her in that outfit, it doesn't look that way. But in this setting, it just does not look good. I just don't like it. It's ugly. It's garbage. So while you're watching this, just know everyone makes mistakes. And everyone has those days. I was like, this is going to be so easy. I've done this outfit so many times. No, it looks so bad. Anyways, on to the next outfit, which I really, 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 really like, which is her casual outfit, question mark. I don't know why I call it casual. It's an orange dress that's cinched at the waist. And it's basically, if you were to make this dress, it would just be two like pieces of fabric attached at the top and then cinched in at the waist. It would be super easy to make, and I really love the pleats in the dress. I love how the belt looks. The like the draping on the arms, really, really beautiful. I end up, when I redo her classic dress, I end up basically going over the pleats I did in the orange dress and using the exact same pleats and like cinching at the waist for that dress, and that dress also looks phenomenal. This in the new version of the classic dress looks phenomenal. It's my favorite. I love the little Greek border as well on the top and the bottom of the dress. It's just, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, guys. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna weep. Real tears. Just look at Helena. She's so beautiful. Now, circling back to things I've failed on. I try to do this dress kind of in her original lore, she like goes to Tartarus for some reason, probably because Percy and Annabeth were in Tartarus, and I wanted to explore that route for her. And I really, really, really liked this dress originally, but it looked so bad. The line weight was too heavy. The lines were too thick, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get them thinner or to look right. So I just threw it in the trash. Then her gladiator look, that's the one we're working on right now. It's the short, like, number that's purple, and her hair has this, like, laurel wreath in it that's silver, and, you know, it's good. It does look very masculine on her, which again, you can see me trying to salvage the Tartarus dress, but it does not work. Now here you see me working on the classic dress again, and you can see me just redlining right over my original orange dress, the casual dress. And while I was working on this, drawing this, I ended up cleaning my room, and like I went through my old photos as well, because I found all the scrap pieces from when I tried to make her dress in real life, the original version, and I just draped it. I never actually ended up sewing it together, and I found all the pieces for it, and it was not very well constructed. So I'm gonna use the scrap fabric for something. I'm not sure what, but something. But I love this dress. It's so beautiful. I love the opal in the center of her belt. I love the little gold detailing at the top where the little buttons are. It's so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. It'll go down in history as one of Ellie Wish's favorite Helena's dresses. Look at the close-ups. Alright, next up, you know her or not, Max Lawrence. So Max Lawrence is my Five Nights at Freddy's OC that I made in 2019. She was actually one of the last character sketches I've ever done. I could always go back and make more, but I probably won't. If you guys don't notice, she kind of does like look like me. She hasn't exactly evolved outside of the self-insert stage like Helena and Viola have yet, so I'm gonna need you guys to be nice to me about that, okay? And also, I need to be able to cosplay her accurately, right? So, like, obviously she's gonna kind of look like me, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. But I did kind of change things up a little bit for for Max. I'm getting very confused right now. In her character sketch, she has both a realistic and a neon version of her outfit. I kind of tried to go in between for those. Like, her classic outfit is very, very muted compared to like how neon it is when I usually draw it, and I end up adding some fun details on the shoes, which I add some duct tape because her life's falling apart, obviously. And I end up like changing, her gloves are usually purple. I believe I changed them to black, but I also added duct tape on those. I gave her some really fun little beads on her shoes. So like, this is the traditional color palette I usually draw Max in, but I was like, this is way too bright. It's washing her out and it doesn't look quite how I want it to. So we're gonna dim things down, we're gonna bring it to a bit more realistic color palette, which I really, really like. I kind of forgot to like do that to her makeup as well. I think that's why it really stands out as very bright pink, but hey, it was the 80s and 90s. She can do that, it's allowed. So again, her usual half up, half down hair that's slightly wavy. I give her some tools because, you know, she's an arcade technician. She's a woman in STEM. She needs to be able to do her job. Then again, I add stripes on everything. She's a very stripey girl. Band-aids because she's accident prone, you know? What girl isn't? I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but on every single one of the designs I do, I try to break down the color palettes easily because, again, this was for Art Fight. I wanted people to know what colors I was using so they could accurately use them. But fun detail, fun fact. If you're going to make character references, add a color palette. It'll make color selecting a lot easier. Now, for her other looks, I wanted to have a lot of variation in her hair because I used to only ever draw her with the front cut bangs, half up, half down. So in the second outfit, I ended up giving her kind of like a teased out like 80s, 90s hairstyle because like she's in the olden days. It's retro, you know? Anyone who's like above the age of 20 is going to be really mad at me saying that. This fun fact, this outfit that she's wearing is actually inspired by an actual shirt that I got and wore all throughout like middle and high school that I got from ModCloth. I even like when I first ever cosplayed Max in like 2019, that was the shirt I used. I even gave myself fake bangs. I was really committed. But again, muted the colors in somewhere in between like the original neon and the original realistic. Now this little number with the what do you call it, it's a vest. The purple vest is inspired by Glitch Trap's purple vest that he wears in FNAF VR. I do end up lengthening it because she doesn't want to wear a cropped vest like Springtrap. He's musty and gross. She's gonna wear a full length version, plus I think that just looks better. I ended up giving her a way chunkier sweater than her original outfit has. I really like it. I did a piece with her essentially in a very similar outfit a really long time ago. I feel like that's one of the last times I drew Max, but this is a much more 80s, 90s-fied version of that outfit. I also tried to mimic that one styrofoam cup like design on her sweater. I'll put a picture up. You know the cup I'm talking about. But I gave her chunky rainbow hoops. This time, instead of being in a half up, half down hairstyle, I gave her like a full ponytail, which I think is so cute. I gave her a little like plastic bracelet that like maybe one of the kids gave her also. That I gave her some really cool scars, and I even put like information in this in her character ref, which I think is really cool. She has like a surgical scar on her forehead, which is from when she was in a car accident, and she has the same thing on like her wrists because they were broken, they needed surgery. And I think that's just a fun little detail. You can't super notice it because I did a bad job of drawing them, but I really think that's a fun detail, and it's fun like, oh, you can't really see it because she has bangs most of the time. Now, her corporate era is something really fun because I get to draw Max Lawrence as an old lady, which in the FNAF franchise is a rarity. There's not a lot of old ladies in FNAF. Why? It's because nobody gets to be old because they get killed by animatronics in a pizzeria. So originally this like pantsuit combo was purple, but again, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Purple is taken by William Afton. We can't just use that because there's implications. There's lore implications. Not only would her soul be taken by greed and corporate sellouts, being a corporate sellout, but she would also be implied, like, people would get her confused with maybe like Mrs. Afton, or like there could be implications there that I don't want to do. So going with a classic signature color of green, nice little pinstripe, giving her an ID badge. I think it's just, I love this look. I love old lady Max. And finally, our last outfit, because I'm really indecisive, I can't tell what era Max Lawrence belongs to. I want her both to be an old woman, but also like a 25-year-old. This is her in her like 90s, I guess. I'm saying security breach is like 90s just for my own benefit. Not because I have any like grounds to stand on, but her, like, this is what she would wear if she was like a staff member at the security breach pizzaplex, which I think is really cute. I could make these shirts on Redbubble, so if you guys want a staff t-shirt for Five Nights at Freddy's, I'll make you one just for you guys. I gave her this really cool tool belt with a bunch of like screwdrivers on it, and she does get a lot of band-aids in this look because she's my accident prone girly. Okay, she is falling over things, she is tripping over things, she is getting run over by Roxy's go-karts. She's not safe at the pizzaplex. She's actually in danger. I also give her some fun earrings. This is a very simple look, but I really, really like it. I think it's, but yeah, that's Max Lawrence. Let's take a look at those detail shots. Sorry this video is so long. I hope you liked it. I hope you have an awesome day, night, evening, morning, whatever time you're in. And peace out, and subscribe if you feel like it. Or join my Patreon. That would be super awesome as well. Or just, you know, live life, be happy, be silly, be goofy. Bye!